Shout out to Money Brown, man. Respect Junior. Boy, Money Brown, he get a lot of money. That's why I call him Money Brown.
What's good, Money Brown TV? What up, what up?
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Money Brown TV. Thank you so much for everything.
Hey, this is Ryan Garcia here. Shout out to Money Brown TV and keep punching, baby.
Yo, what's going on after the fight? What is your boy Money back with another one, fam? And this one here is on two big dogs in this fight game. We have Lamont Roach Jr., who is the WBA junior lightweight champion, one of the hottest fighters in the game right now after going 12 rounds with Tank and fighting him to a draw. Then we have that killer, that gorilla himself from Baltimore, Gervonta Tank Davis, arguably the #1 fighter in the world, arguably the face of boxing, the hottest young star in the game right now today. We all know Tank is a 3-division world champion, undefeated, putting on for his city, putting on for his family, and he's a bad boy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and did I mention he's a WBA lightweight champion as well? But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world, y'all know how it go. Gervonta Tank Davis is looking to do something very, very, very spectacular in a rematch when he go up against Lamont Roach. Now, we all know the first fight was a draw. A lot of people criticize Tank. A lot of people say he lost the fight. A lot of people felt like because he took a knee, right? He should have been counted as a knockdown, and that would have made Lamont Roach the new WBA lightweight champion, would have made him a champion in 2 divisions. But it was a draw. And now Gervonta Tank Davis is going back to the drawing board. He's focused. He's locked in. Him and Calvin is still on good terms. A lot of people thought he was going to leave Calvin for other trainers. But, you know, he's sticking with the home team, as he called Calvin Pops. And he's ready to put on. Now, when it comes to Lamont Roach, a lot of people look at Lamont as overachieving. A lot of people look at the fight. Some say he won the fight. Some say he was robbed. You got others saying, you know what, he didn't do enough. He did, you know, more than what people expected him to do. So by him doing that, you know, a lot of people look at him and say, oh, well, he beat Tank. You feel me? But it came into a draw. And they give Lamont Roach all the confidence in the world that he can go in there, you know what I mean, and put on and, you know, come out with the victory in the rematch against Gervonta Tank Davis. Because one thing about Lamont, and I respect him, he's a dog. And he gonna go out there and work his ass off to try to come in and be a better Lamont Roach, you know, come fight night, right? Now, when it comes to Gervonta Tank Davis, he know that Tank is a dog. He know that Tank possesses power, and he know he has to be all the way on his ish if he want to beat Tank. So, you know, he putting that hard work in, man. You gotta respect and salute somebody like Lamont Roach, you know what I'm saying, for going out there and you know, taking the chances to beat Tank. Now, when it comes to Tank, y'all seeing right here with Bug, y'all already know how Tank run them things off, how they get down. You know, he put out a heartfelt message letting Calvin Ford know that I'm sticking with you. I'm not changing up. I'm bringing you and Barry Hunter back together again. You know, the headbangers and the Upton Gym. He feel like when they all together, it's unstoppable. And, you know, it's how it used to be, and he wanted back that way. You know what I mean? So Tank is loyal. He always been loyal. He's always going to continue to be loyal. You feel me? So he want to bring the old crew together. He want to keep them together because I guess he feel like he worked better in an environment like that. But Tank is, you know, he's ready, man. He's focused. He's ready to put on. He's ready to go out there and do what he got to do. Shut some haters up. Do some things to Lamont Roach that he didn't do in the first fight to show people that he is still the baddest young motherfucker in the game right now. You understand what I'm saying? So he's going to have to work his ass off. He's going to have to stay focused, stay sharp, and beat Gervonta Tank Davis. You know what I mean? And I do believe Tank got so much more to give in the second fight. Now, with Lamont Roach, do he have much more to give in the second fight? Because when I seen out of him, I felt like I seen the best Lamont Roach to fight a Gervonta Tank Davis. You dig? And with that being said, it's like he reached his peak in that fight. And it's just my opinion. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? He can come out and show me something different. But by knowing Lamont, by watching Lamont, you know what I'm saying, I feel like he did the best that he can do against a Tank. I don't think he's going to tweak so much that he's going to go in there and make this adjustment, that adjustment, and this adjustment. You feel me? I feel like he was at his best, and he has to not try to do too much, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, don't go out there and make it harder than, you know, what it got to be. If you can go out there and try to mimic the success you had in the first fight, and tweak a few little things, but not try to go overboard, I think he'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll be all right. I think he can go out there, he can compete. You feel what I'm saying? And I respect him to the utmost. So I don't want to like I'm taking nothing away from him, or like I don't respect his games, his skill set and what he can do inside that square circle. I just feel like by what I seen in the ring in the first fight, and I gotta rewatch it too, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world. Let me put that out there. I have to rewatch the fight, and I'm going to score it so I can give y'all my honest assessment of the first fight, because I watched like 6 or 7 rounds, and because it kept kicking me out. But I will rewatch it, and I will give y'all my honest opinion. But still in all, when I seen Gervonta Tank Davis in that fight, I seen a man that was just trying to knock, Lamont Roach out. Because I know Tank can do so much more than what he did inside that square circle. He wasn't setting up nothing. He wasn't making Lamont come forward as much as he usually do, where he trick his opponents in and then catch their ass with something they don't see. You know what I'm saying? And Lamont was able to see everything Gervonta Davis was throwing, so he was able to brace himself, for every punch. You always get hurt by the ones you don't see. And not saying you can't get hurt by the ones you do see, but y'all know how sneaky Tank is with them uppercuts and them hooks, bro, when he walking your ass down. So I think in the second fight, Tank is going to make sure he come in and box a little bit more, build a little bit more smarter, and try to make Lamont Roach, walk into something instead of just standing right there just banging with him and giving him, chances to counter you, or being toe-to-toe with him to where he can hit you because you're not really, making him do anything, So it's going to be a hell of a fight, bro. I'm looking forward to it, but I just think Tank in the second fight, I think he's going to be way more focused. I think he's going to be ready for everything that Lamont brings. And I think he's going to put a little bit more boxing and use a little bit more IQ in the second fight. Because the first fight, like I said, him coming off the longest layoff of his career, if I'm not mistaken, if you go see the first press conference, he didn't look too highly motivated and things of that nature, which is no excuse. Let me not make like I'm making excuses. I just felt like, he came in and he kind of overlooked Lamont Roach. Even though they had their history and things of that nature in the amateurs, as grown men, it's two different paths, especially watching him, lose to Jamel Hearn. And we seen what Shakur did to Jamel Hearn, and Tank probably looking at it like, man, if Jamel Hearn did him like that, I'm finna doing way dirtier. You feel me? I'm finna doing way dirtier because I'm a way better fighter than Jamel Hearn. You know what I mean? And that third can knock your ass off track, and you can go out there just looking for that knockout punch. And if you can't get him up out of there, then this was going to happen to Tank. Anytime he don't knock somebody out, right, a lot of people going to say, oh, well, he washed, he bum, he a bum, he this, that, and the third, because, they know his forte. You know what I'm saying? So I think Gervonta Tank Davis, y'all, is locked all the way in. He's standing all the way focused. He's with Barry and Calvin and Kenny. And they putting that work in, man. They putting that work in. And I do think he's going to show up and show out. And, yes, I do think he's going to knock Lamont Roach out. You feel me? I think he's going to knock Lamont Roach out. And especially if Lamont coming in, like I said, and trying a little too hard to do it, he's really going to go to sleep. But salute to him. He's a warrior, bro. I respect him. I'm a fan of Lamont Roach, actually. But I just don't think this fight, he going to last with Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, he can prove me wrong, and I'll be back giving him his just due. I know a lot of y'all cats out there going to be hating and saying, man, this, that, and that, and this. It is what it is, brothers and sisters. I'm just giving my opinion. And I got Gervonta Tank Davis with the knockout in the second fight. I got him staying focused, staying sharp, working on things that he didn't work on in the first fight, and moving on to the next. Straight like that, and that money be, I'm on to the next. Y'all have a good one.